Welcome, everyone, to another episode of City Skylines, Appletown. And it's a new beginning. We beat the scenario, and here we are again for another exciting episode. Alright, we've done some things with our city over time. I'm recording this a little later, quite a while after my last episode. Life just gets a little busy sometimes. So here we are again. We're ready to work on the city. So let's get down to it. And as you can see, we've got about 57,000 people in our town. And we need... One of the things that I would like to do is build an airport. We'll have to decide where. And we can't get that airport until we go to the next level at 65,000, I believe, is the next milestone. And yes, it is 65,000. We get another area to build, and we get the plane, and we can do the airport and the cargo airport. So that's what we're looking forward to. So I don't know about high growth. What we're going to do to promote more growth, but we could enhance South Side over here. We could work on some other areas, but today we're going to expand our area over here up at the top north of Aura State, and we're going to put in a harbor today. Maybe we'll do some other things too, depending on time, but let's get started. Alright, now the slope of this is quite a big slope, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the bike path 6-lane road, and let's get that on an angle, and I kind of want to swoop this down like that, and I think I want to kind of try to follow the big lake that we're dealing with here and figure out a way to do that. Alright, what this is, we're preparing for is some more expansion of the ore. As you look here, we have natural resources, and we've got a big ore patch here, so I wanted to run a road up here. Now, something that I'm going to note, due to the amount of time between this recording and the other recordings, I since have purchased, and the game went through an enhancement to introduce the industries. And I think in keeping with the spirit of the timing of this particular town, and since it was before industries, I don't think I'm going to introduce the various industries options. However, I might build a warehouse or two to store some goods, to do some enhancements, but for right now I'm going to stay away from that. What we probably will do is use the water pollution and the floating garbage collector, and of course the recycling center. So we'll be looking at those a little later. All right. So what we've done here is I've expanded from Ore Estates and Leisure Heights, which we need to expand a little bit on those two. This is kind of boring that looking, but here we have is our new harbor that we can power up. We'll go ahead and let the simulation run a little bit and see if we can get some boats in. We've watered our harbor here. I kind of want to investigate. Let's go ahead and we're going to put in some infrastructure here for housing. Now you can imagine if you lived up here in the on this, how the views will just be fantastic. So I think what I want to do is let me go ahead and finish up getting some water up here to these areas first. Like I said, letting the simulation run, we're getting some demand. So this is a good thing. We can take that demand and definitely harness that demand. Yeah, the other thing we have that we didn't have before are road tolls, so we might want to think about that. Probably need to do a check on how our services are. But before we do that, let's get some things out here. We're going to build a community out here. So we want to have a medical center. And we'll go ahead and get a fire department out here. And a police department. Just to get things started off right. Okay. And let's do some high density on the top side. And I think I want some low density through here, or lower density on this side. So the people who live up here are not having their views blocked. Okay, so if that makes sense, that people in the high rise can see, but the people in the normal housing can also see this beautiful lake here. I don't know how much noise pollution a harbor would generate. Maybe it's a little odd to have a harbor down here. The other thing we need to do, and I do want to work on buses. It's something from a couple episodes ago that I never really dealt with very much. And I think what we're going to do is just add a bus line. And we are going to perhaps make a stop there. And we really haven't serviced this area at all. Robin Park has really taken off, but we will go ahead and do a bus service out here. Or Estates will be serviced by that, and then we'll just do a bus that comes down here and comes back up. And this isn't addressing the bus issues that I was talking about before, or that I just mentioned, but we do need to get the blue bus line that goes up over here to the Summit District. Has some major, 1,200 people, 1,100 people waiting for a bus, so I think we need to deal with that. So that's that. We have 1,200 passengers a week now, and this bus line is, let me see. We don't have a green line yet, so we'll just go ahead and get a green line and go for that. Alright, now we need to deal with some of this demand. We have some medium demand for industry or offices and medium demand for commercial. We're going to start the simulation again at 2 speed, see what we can do for getting some office demand, which will bring down this demand bar, and a little bit of commercial demand too. I want to keep those up. Let me just check. Okay, we've got good coverage there, and of course we just built those. And how are we doing on schools? Look at that. Elementary, we are a little bit over. High school, we are a little bit, elementary we're a little bit under. High school we're a little bit under. And I suspect university, yeah, we're just about coming up on university needing a little bit more. So, let's build an elementary school down here. And that's easy access, and these darned high schools are just so huge. Something we have is the Institute of Creative Arts in the community school. We can do the community school, and why don't we do the Institute of the Arts too, just right next door. Well, maybe not. Yeah, now, see, that'll take care of some of that demand in education. You can see that we've got a little congestion here with cargo harbor and a little bit with the regular harbor here. But anyway, so we got a couple schools. So let's see. That puts us at 11,260 for the high school level. And then for elementary, we went up just a little bit over. and this will service this new community. And that is not powered, so let's get that powered. And let's see how many passengers. Looks like 18 of 100. It's amazing that that ship only holds 100. We have good traffic flow going. Might want to get a little guy here. Parking lot for people to park the cars. So I think they just park them on the street. Unfortunately, the harbor only allows for one type of road. You can't replace this particular road. I might end up expanding this road to go on around here. This is a pretty big hill if you look at it. Maybe expand it to come over here, but this is just, harbor traffic, and that's pretty heavy duty traffic. This is a really, I'm not used to. I think I mentioned this in another episode that I'm not used to building on really hilly maps, so this is kind of new for me. So, pardon me if I am not real proficient at making realistic roads and whatnot. But anyway, just to get a little bit of this demand taken care of, we'll just go ahead and maybe make a little bit more residential there. Turn the ore estates into a little bit more of a community, along with this new office and commercial area over here. So that is that. So, alright, so up here, this is all ore, all along here. And then we've got a little bit of forest area down here, or up here too. So, I would like to think that people will use, or the trucks will use this. But what we can do is we can let's make a district up here. And what we will do is limit the traffic. I think the district can go down there and around here, right along that road. And we can restrict, we can put in a policy for more heights, which we're going to rename. And let's do Parks and Recreation Education Boost. We'll go ahead and go with some high-tech housing. I don't think that'll cause those buildings that have already started to build to despawn. Heavy traffic ban. And let's encourage biking. Okay. Now I'd like to go ahead and continue with the theme that I had over here of putting in the bicycle paths. And I wouldn't mind connecting everything. I guess we don't need paths along here. Let's see what these bots, not enough customers. So I get it that this is not enough customers. I get it that we don't have enough customers, but we don't have a lot of demand for residential. So, but this, I like this, how this looks with, I believe this is the tourism. We have Robin Park. Yeah, the tourism is turned on for specialization. And we're going to go ahead and do a recycling policy for them. But anyway, that's nicely built up. I think I could go ahead and continue this road and go ahead and connect it up. That will help things. And I'll go ahead and put in some of this, which I like the buildings better in the tourism specialization, definitely over some of the high density buildings that we have down here in Victoria Heights. Okay, so more heights. This is what's a good name for this? Let's see. We'll call it Harbor Hills. What the heck? The question is, do I develop the ore now? Or do I wait? That is the question. Yeah, those traffic problems we were having. Let me get the orientation back to the normal north-south orientation, as I call it. The traffic problems we were having over here, not as much anymore. So I think this is working. You know, we've got the usual turnaround here. I thought about making this a 4-lane or a 6-lane road through here instead of a highway. I don't know. I debate that quite a bit, and this is not great. Let's go ahead and take their suggestion and build a recycling center. Let's go ahead and grab a recycling center and put it in here. And let's also look at our capacity here. Wow, our capacity is running thin. So recycling, it looks like we need a little bit more in the way of recycling. So I'm going to go ahead and put in another recycling plant. Or not recycling, incineration. So more incineration. And I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and get this guy emptied since he filled up. And let's see where we're at with this guy emptying. 11% full. So we'll have that, and we might expand in a little bit more recycling over here again. All right, something that I really think that I will do at some point here, and I'm going to mention it now, and I apologize. I think 3 episodes ago, I said, hey, why don't we fix this mess over here with regard to so many people trying to ride the bus here? And I never have taken care of that, so that's on my list. But something that I really want to look at is enhancing this highway. To combine this highway and this highway into one big highway. Get rid of the cloverleaf, and I'm going to have to play with it a little bit offline to determine what do I want to do with this section of town and the connections and not lose anything by doing this. But I think this could be better served to just be one continuous highway. I've thought that for quite a while, actually, that we could take this highway, start turning it right about here, and just do a continuous flow. And I might do that. I gotta let the simulation run. We gotta get some more population here. And they are asking for more in the way of population for that tourism section, and I never have ended up doing this over here, so I think I'll just go ahead and it's going to be all that. And then once again, I think we'll do high rises over here. Okay. And then I don't want the town to be just a huge. It's always the debate between how much do you grow your towns and how much do you just leave them and let them be. And I honestly do not know where I want to go with that. So let's take a look at this Modern Technology Institute. I do not think I saw this before, and this is an alternative. This has got a student capacity of 4,000. So I guess I haven't placed this in any of my cities. And wow, this guy is big. Big, big, big. So we got to have a pretty good sized area to put him when we do build him. Gotta decide where would I want to do this. I mean, I could do it here in Bent Tree. Well, that's right on the water. We could put it, well, Lilac Park, I gotta finish developing that. Could put it down here. Nah, it's not gonna fit there. Really, it's not conducive here. Maybe right along here. Right along here where the harbor meets. And, another possibility is down here on the south side. We already have the university here, though. That's the university. And we're definitely running into a capacity thing. So that's an idea. I got to think about where I want to put that technology institute, because I think that type of thing is, kind of the wave of the future. That they are, I mean, they've always had technical schools, but I think they just introduced that into Cities Skylines fairly recently. I don't know when I got that. I don't know if it came with Green Cities, or it might have been Green Cities that introduced that. I did get that since the last time I recorded, Green Cities and Industries. So, all right. So we've got uptick in demand here for industrial. We got medium, and low demand. I think Lilac Park. Needs a few trees. I think I'll get some oak trees in here too. So that's going to just about do it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next time. Stay tuned.